Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Mates podcast. I'm your host, Josh Winling, joined, as always, by Tanner Coe.
Hello, Josh. I'm tired.
Hello, Tanner. We are also joined by Ryan, Aaron, Barnes.
All right, Josh.
My game closer?
You can just say no.
Okay.
You're
We'll get there one
further
day.
away in the alphabet, if you will.
All right, I'm going with the Z.
That's like-
Xylophone.
No.
That
That's
doesn't
with an
start
X,
with a
you
Z,
idiot.
but okay.
This was an X, yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we are also joined by Jack. That's it. That's all you
That's
get.
it? That's all I
You don't
get?
get Jack Black today.
For what? Making you watch this movie
Yeah.
that you actually enjoyed?
Actually,
and
yeah,
I feel
did
like you
enjoy it.
should apologize.
I apologize, Jack. They were joined by co-host Jack Black.
Hello there, Josh. Wendling.
Why did you take so
4.5.
long? 4.5?
Yeah.
What?
That's just what I've heard you. I remember you rating a lot of movies for some reason.
What? 4.5, maybe the Twister.
You rated it that high?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. And then also, we're joined by the second time ever, Ryan. Actually, we'll say Michael Ryan Camarada.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Ryan. See, I like that. I like him. And today we're going to be reviewing The Conjuring, directed by James Wan, released in 2013 with a budget of $20 million. And the featured
85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
and
Just saying.
7.5 on IMDb. But 68 on Metacritic, dude. I don't think that's audience score. Oh, wait, no. Metacritic's all audience score. Never mind. That's audience score. Yeah. That's the movie we reviewed, boys. And we watched. And I'll admit, I came in with a very, not negative attitude, but I don't like horror movies. So I came in like a pussy. And I was very scared to watch this movie. But to my surprise, I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit, actually. How'd you boys feel about it?
Great movie. 10 out of 10. Love it. Love the whole Conjuring universe. All of it. It's all great. Can't wait for the newest movie that's coming out. You know, Conjuring 3.
Well, Ryan, I don't know.
Well,
I
Thumbs up
personally
this
think
year.
told you.
this is the best movie out of the Conjuring universe. I think the other movies can probably be put to the side.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
I'm going to have to disagree with Tanner on
No,
that
no, no.
one.
What did he say to make you disagree?
I said that
It's-
this
we don't-
movie
we
is
don't
my
need to
favorite
repeat
out of the
that.
Conjuring universe, but I think the other movies can be put to the
What
side,
other?
like The
oh,
Nun.
is Annabelle? Do you count the Annabelle as part of the Conjuring?
Yes,
Yeah,
universe?
yeah, yeah.
that is part of the universe.
Well, Annabelle's in
Okay.
this.
Like I saw.
Well, yeah, this was
The
this
Nun.
was her first appearance.
I saw the Curse of La Llorona. La Llorona. I forget.
La Llorona.
Is that in the Conjuring
Curse
universe?
of Conan.
Yeah.
Yes,
Conan-
it is
Corona?
confirmed in The Conjuring.
I've never seen that. I knew that one was newer.
That one is a really good one to watch too.
Yeah,
They're
fuck,
pretty
dude.
garbage. This one, and Conjuring 2, they're okay. The other one's pretty garbage. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh!
Or, I'm sorry, Michael.
Wow.
Sorry, Michael.
Wait, which one did you say is garbage?
Wow.
All of them except Conjuring 1 and Conjuring 2.
Yeah, I heard
Wow.
The Nun's not that good.
Oh, I mean,
It's
yeah.
overhyped.
Yeah, I was just really scared by the ads.
Yeah,
And
it
mainly
was
for-
funny. YouTube had to
Those
take 'em down.
Ads, dude.
Particularly why I like these two is that they were directed by James Wan,
Oh,
who is like the king
I-
of horror.
It's on HBO, and I have HBO on my Hulu, so I was able to watch it full quality, boys.
Wait, The Conjuring was on HBO?
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh,
on
yeah,
it's
Hulu.
on
the
HBO.
Hulu, but
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Well, yeah, but it said it's only available if you have HBO.
The fuck?
What?
Uh huh.
If you try to watch
Yeah,
it on Hulu?
it's on it. No, it's on HBO.
Wait, it's on
So, like,
HBO?
I-
Why the fuck I pay?
I pair my
You paid
Hulu
to
with
watch this
HBO.
movie?
Yeah, because I didn't think it was on anything.
I mean, it's not a movie that you don't like you don't have to watch it for free. I mean, it's good enough to pay for it.
Oh well, yeah. I think I got my money's worth of like cat light every time my cat opened the door. Brian's
Oh, yeah.
currently driving right now. Anyway, yeah, boys. So Tanner, you want to take us away in the plot of this movie?
Yeah. So first of all, the intro music is very, very
Good.
dark. It's very, yeah. I like the music a lot. It's when we're getting like the Warner Brothers logo. It's very creepy and eerie. We
Pulls
start
you
off. What?
It pulls you in to get ready for like the intro.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Or sorry, Michael. Anyway, we begin with Ed and Lorraine, who are interviewing these group of, I guess, young adults, and they're going over their recollection of this doll called Annabelle in an interview that happened in 1968. They're interviewing, and they cut to a flashback of what's happened. So basically, this Annabelle doll is just sitting in their hallway, and then they go inside a room, and this room is trash with red crayon, and it's pretty much just a haunting with this doll. And Ed and Lorraine, who are demonologists, they state that this demonic doll wanted to get inside them because it's an inhuman spirit and it's never actually been in the human realm. So we kind of get a cut to Annabelle in the beginning of this movie.
Can I just say this? Annabelle's a little graffiti artist, dog. I don't think she's honestly a bad person. She's just kind of a little shit, you know. She just fucking writes on the walls and everything. She's just like, I don't know, like a really bad toddler. I thought that was funny. This part really, and I hate scary movies. Again, going into this, I was just scared. I'm just like, is this doll about to fucking kill them? Because I was just so ready the whole entire time. Someone just suddenly die, but that never happened, and I was just so on edge the whole movie. Anyway, yeah, very good open scene.
Yeah, it's definitely, it has nothing to do with the, I guess. It
whole
opens
plot.
up the universe in a way.
Yeah, which is cool. You
Like
see that
she's kind of like the face. She's kind of like the face of the universe. You know, she actually has, you know, like the actual logo.
Yeah, and they had a bunch, like, I like how they kind of set up the whole entire universe with the first shot of the first movie of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool how they had like these big plans, and this is kind of like, this 2013, so Marvel is already blown up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess that's why they're probably setting it up. Which is cool. Yeah, I like that.
We cut to an auditorium where Ed and Lorraine are pretty much giving a lecture about what they do, how they do it. They give an example, kind of explaining, you know, why it is, like, you know, they call themselves demonologists or, you know, ghost researchers. Some people call them nut jobs. But they pretty much explain themselves in the auditorium in front of a bunch of students. We cut then to the main location of where this movie's at. It's a farmhouse in 1971 in Harryville, Rhode Island. We see Roger and Carolyn as their as the main. Whoops, my lights went off in my car. Whoops. Carolyn and their family of 5 daughters, as well as their dog Sadie. And they're pretty much moving into this house. Anyone want to say anything about the characters here?
I noticed Sydney, who is oh my god, sorry, I gotta pull up her name real fast. But she plays she's an Interstellar. She plays Matt McConaughey's daughter. Yeah. So Murph. No, don't leave her. Yeah, I like that. She's a good actor. Dude, the little kids in this are good actors. I was saying this to Jack. Like, fucking the horror kids in horror movies are fantastic. I don't get it. Fucking scream.
So they're moving in. You know, they're putting all the furniture in, all the decorations, and we cut to one of the girls, Cindy. She goes outside. She sees April, I believe, is the youngest. She's out by a tree and she's playing with this. She says she found something. She's by this huge tree with a huge trunk, and she's playing with this Jack-in-the-Box. So kind of like an object, another, you know, I guess a cliche of an object, something attached to an object. But maybe at first I thought it was attached to an object, but it turns out it was just cursed for the whole location. Cut to them later in the night. They're playing hide and seek or hide and clap, where the person who is seeking is blindfolded, and they ask to know where everyone is by clapping. They get 3 claps. As she finds one of her siblings, she pushes one of them, and they break a wall to reveal a cellar downstairs, which was blocked off by this wall. So they ended up seeing this cellar unknowingly.
It's just creepy.
Yeah. So Roger sees it. Roger goes down. And he investigates it with a match. It's all cobwebby and everything's dilapidated and pretty scary environment, I should say. We cut to upstairs. Roger and Karen are about to go to bed. They see Sadie, who I forgot to mention, is the dog, who actually doesn't even go inside the house. Like, actually, in the beginning when they're moving in, the dog doesn't even go in the house. So they see him outside at night, barking outside. I guess the pacing keeps it up. We cut to the next morning. Carolyn has a bruise on her leg. She doesn't know how she got it. She thinks Roger, did something to her at night. He didn't notice. She comes downstairs, notices the clock is offset. It's off at 3:07 in the morning. And she comes downstairs. She hears Roger in the basement. He's fixing up as he can, getting a survey of this dilapidated basement. April goes out to check on the dog because she hasn't seen the dog, and the dog, Sadie, is dead.
Yeah, fuck this spirit, dude. Killing the dog right away.
Do you know the dog is like the only one that dies in this whole movie?
Yeah.
The dog and
the
the birds.
Yeah,
There's multiple birds. But we don't care about the birds. The dog is the only one that really matters.
Yeah, I'd rather what the hell, man? I'd rather them kill a human. Don't kill the dog. Just they have 5 daughters. One can go. Yeah, that was. I didn't like the way the movie started. I was like, what asshole? What a fucking prick. Killing the dog.
Dude, I'd have known. The second, if I buy a new house, my dog refuses to go in even after I tug on the collar. We out.
Yeah, trust the
out
dog,
this bad
dude.
boy.
Yeah, what the hell?
He's even whining too.
Yeah, dogs are always right. Like the fucking dog in Halloween, dude. Just go look out the window. Right.
So we cut to Ed. He's showing his, his malevolent collection of items in his own house. He's giving, showing this research or this reporter. This reporter wants to get a story about this Annabelle doll. And he notes that sometimes it's better for demons to be left inside the object, like a genie.
Yeah, I like that line.
He sees his daughter kind of roaming around. She's not supposed to be in there. He kind of scolds her and tells her that she's not supposed to be in here. I forget her name. What's her name? Judy.
Dude, all the girls I got confused by the little girls a lot. I don't know why they all look the same.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track which one's which.
Yeah, because I don't know. Later in the movie, when they're when Judy's seeing the rocking chair with Annabelle, I thought that was one of the other girls.
Yeah,
and a lot of times when they're wearing the white gowns, they look very similar. Like when they walk in the background with the white gown on, I couldn't really tell who it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really confusing. All I do is Sydney because I'm like, that's Murph. That's the only person, dude.
We cut back to the farmhouse, and the girls are sleeping. I don't know which the names of the girls. Forget, but they're like these the middle childs. They're
the older ones, yeah.
Well, not the oldest one, but they're like the middle child.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
one
Older
of
than
them's getting
April
there.
and Sydney.
The one with the glasses, and then the other one.
Yeah, I don't remember. Christine.
One of them's
Christine's the one. Yeah, one of them's Christine. I don't know what the other one is. But anyway, Christine she's getting her leg pulled. You know, she's trying to fall asleep. She smells this odor. She thinks, you know, someone farted. And,
She blames it on her sister.
mm-hmm.
Which she says her sister's name multiple times, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it's.
I don't
Anyway,
remember
so-
it either.
They go back, cut downstairs the same night. Roger's hearing footsteps, the door's opening by itself, and the window's open, and just starting off with the eerie presence of the spirit. He is, you know, he's wandering the house, and then he sees one of the girls that's woken up. Well, I think it's the oldest one, and she says that, hey, this girl Cindy's keeps sleepwalking, and she's banging her head against the dresser.
Yeah, that's not strange at all.
And her sister, the only sister that has her own room too.
Yeah,
The oldest one.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking Murph, dude. She heard her dad yelling at him.
So they take her to bed, and that's the end of the night. So early on, paranormal stuff. Next morning, Caroline, she gets out of she has another bruise on the back, on her back. Caroline.
Carolyn's the mom.
Well, I know Carolyn's the mom, but it's Caroline or Carolyn.
She's the one that gets all the bruises because like the witch is trying to like penetrate her. Right?
Good choice of words there, Josh.
Yeah, she's trying to force herself into her.
This is when Roger.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I know, Josh. Whatever.
It's not the
This
best
is when
way of
Roger-
putting it.
As Roger heads off to work, he sees a bird fly into the window and kill itself.
Fucking suicidal birds, dude.
It lands right where Sadie's body
Sadie
was.
died. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't know how Sadie died. Cause she just got
She probably got thrown against a window.
she got glatted. Get.
This is the same time when all the older girls, they head off to school on the school bus, and pretty much it's just April and Caroline, the mom, that are left in the house. She comes into her room. She notes that she's kind of just talking to this imaginary person she's with, and she asks, the mom asks her if she can see where Toby is, and she agrees, and she pretty much holds up the Jack-in-the-Box toy as it spins around, and nothing really happens. Kind of a cheap scare there.
Well, she gets like the chills, kind of.
Yeah, she kind of gets mesmerized, not mesmerized, but she hallucinates. I don't know. She's kind of mesmerized by it. They end up playing hide and clap just by themselves, just those two. The mom seeks while the girl hides, and they're playing clap. So she's asking for a clap. She hears a clap. She goes into the older sister's room. She asks for another clap. The dresser opens, and we see outstretched arms clapping. She thinks,
So creepy.
yeah.
Perfect setup, though.
And the mom thinks
Yeah.
that
It
she's in the
was,
closet. She hears breathing. And she hears April come up the stair. She hears April come down the corridor, and she opens the blindfold, and she's kind of confused. She thought she was definitely in the closet, but so definitely a intriguing scene there.
This was cool, dude. I was like, when I saw this, I'm like, all right, maybe this movie actually be pretty cool because that was really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
You just see the two arms come out, clap, and I'm like, what the fuck? I like that. That was a good scene.
Cut tonight, and this is when Christine has her feet dragged again. This time she wakes up, and she gets dragged more vigorously. She wakes up. She notices, she obviously knows something's in here with her. She looks under her bed, doesn't see anything, but she does see the door slightly creak open. She sees a figure, and she wakes up her other sister, Nancy.
Yeah, it's
I wrote it down.
Nancy. Yeah.
She's like, Nancy, wake up. They both wake up. Christine says there's something on the there's someone behind the door. Nancy doesn't see it. She kind of just goes by the door. She says, "Oh, nothing's here." And this is when the door closes, and the parents wake up, and they're pretty terrified.
Yeah, Roger's kind of a pussy. But actually, well, not really, because the amount of shit that happens to him throughout this movie, and they're still able to go to sleep and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just good for them.
Well, this is like the first.
Real,
Christine was the first victim to know something was definitely off.
I still get creeped out.
There was hints and creepy moments, but nothing like they obviously knew. Like the dog, I guess, was the first, but this was definitely the next peak.
Yeah. 100%.
Cut to Ed and Lorraine. They're talking about their relationship. They get called in, and it's a false occurrence. They're in the attic. They're like saying, "Oh, these pipes are not. They're the ones making the noise, and the breeze is causing the water to drip." And they're pretty much giving an explanation to this couple. Kind of a pointless scene. I don't know. I felt like it was a scene that didn't need to belong in this.
Oh yeah. I didn't get it either. I know what you're talking about.
Back at the house. What?
Okay. No, nothing. You're good.
Back at the house, Carolyn gets another bruise. This time on her arm or leg. It's definitely more. You can definitely see it better. It's more black. It's more purplish black on her. So she's starting to take medicine, antibiotics. This is when Ed goes, "Hey, you should probably see a doctor about this." Actually, no, this is when she's by herself. Sorry. She's by herself and she sees another bruise. And this time she hears noises. This is at night. She investigates. As she goes downstairs, the picture frames fall off the stairwell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is when Roger's like away because he's driving.
He's
for his
outside,
job.
I think, right?
No, he's at work because he gets the call.
This is at night. He's outside.
Oh, okay. I thought this was later on. Never mind.
Yeah. So she's awake. I think Roger's outside. She's hearing claps throughout
No. He's coming back. Like later on in the scene is when he gets back from his trip.
Oh, I guess. You can't really tell if he went to work.
Yeah.
You just get a cut to him outside. You just think he's outside.
Yeah, he pulls up in his work truck.
I guess.
Yeah.
She hears claps. She hears it coming from the cellar door. She goes down. She looks, and a ball gets thrown. A little toy ball. She's
and then
obviously
the music cue starts, and
she's
really
freaked
creepy.
out with the music.
Mm-hmm.
And then the door slams and it's locked, so she can't get out. And all she has to light the area around her is the matches. And this is when we hear someone go, "Do you want to play hide and clap?" And then we get the. Man. That's probably. I saw that in the trailer, so I knew it was coming a long time ago. But it's one of those scenes that really gets you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was freaky.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck out of the house.
Another freaky scene. So this is the same night. So remember, Caroline's locked in the basement. We cut to Cindy, who again is sleepwalking. The older sister catches her. She's banging her head on the dresser. She goes, "Okay, you're sleeping with me tonight," and tucks her in. As she goes to get in bed, the dresser opens. She goes to see what's going on. Cindy kind of just sits up, and then we see the demonic being on top of the dresser. I think this scene is probably the scariest out of the biggest jump scare out of the whole movie.
I was with Josh when he was watching this scene. he goes, why is she staring? What is she staring at? And then he goes, "Oh!" I was like, yep. I know exactly what he's looking at.
This just came out of nowhere, dude.
This scare did come out of nowhere. Did it get you, Michael or Ryan?
Well, yeah.
Well,
the first time I watched it around.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, it got me.
Like when you first time watched it.
The first time, oh, most definitely. It
This
was
time I knew it was.
creepy
I
as
knew it.
hell.
I knew it
Yeah.
was happening.
I didn't. Fuck this scene, dude.
So everyone's screaming. This is when Roger's outside. He goes in, and basically the whole family's in pandemonium and panic, and obviously they're all scared. Cut to Ed and Lorraine again, and they're giving another lecture. This time they're showing a video of this dude who they actually have video proof of an exorcism that is going wrong, apparently.
Oh yeah, this is cool. I like this video.
After the video, they explain how demonic possession works, where there's 3 steps: infestation, oppression, and possession, and explains each step following it. Cut outside, a fellow student introduces Ed and Lorraine to Caroline, the mom of the movie, and asks them to take a look at their house because they obviously have paranormal activity going on. And they get invited to the house. They come in. Lorraine senses something has happened here. Senses like she's in the basement. She feels like something terrible has happened, and she obviously now knows that Caroline and his family they're not playing possum. They start the interview. Them, Ed's asking them a question. When did this first start? Then we get a cut. They go outside. They go out by the tree, and Lorraine sees a clairvoyant vision of someone being hanged and sees the actual demonic being being hanged. So she actually gets a visual of what this thing looks like.
Tanner, I want to interrupt you for a second because right as you said that, I just heard thunder out my window. It was really creepy. I opened my window and it's just growling, bro. Oh, don't say that, dude. Stop.
The family is like asking them, "Can't we just leave? Can we just go somewhere else?" And they both state that this entity won't leave them because it's emotionally attached to them like gum, stepping on a piece of gum on your foot. They say that they need to cleanse the house with an exorcism, but the church can't approve it until they get proof. So this is when they need an actual paranormal, researcher set, with equipment so they can get proof of that paranormal activity is going on. They cut back to Ed and Lorraine's house. They're going over the tape recordings about the interviews and notice that the voices didn't record. Lorraine's voice didn't record, so all they hear is Ed's voice, and that's it.
Oh, I didn't notice. Oh, yeah. I didn't notice that at first.
Yeah.
It was really subtle. That was cool.
Yeah. This is when we kind of get an introduction of the research behind the story. So Lorraine goes, okay, there's this witch who is related to this, or here's this woman who's related to this witch that was hung during the Salem witch trials, and they bought a farm. She had a husband. She married. They had a kid who was a week-year-old or a month-year-old, and the husband caught this woman named Sheba sacrificing the baby, and because of her contempt and because of her, she got caught. She needed to hang herself, but before she did that, she praised her life to Satan and cursed her land for whoever buys it next. So this main entity is named Bathsheba. I'm just going to shorten it to Sheba, but it's Bathsheba.
I named her Shib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The paranormal team arrives. The crew sets up. The showing the UV light, setting up all the cameras.
Yeah, we get the best character in the movie, Brad.
Is Brad the cop or the agent?
Yes, the cop.
Brad's the cop. Okay.
Best character in the movie, dude. Shout, Brad.
So they're setting up. Forgive me if I'm forgetting something, but I'm trying to get everything as I go. This is so they're setting up. They obviously have things going on. Outside, Lorraine is doing laundry. laundry, and as the wind picks up, the weather starts to rapidly change. As the wind, picks up, a piece of of their laundry flies off, and an outline of a person appears. And the sheets go upstairs to the window, and Lorraine sees Caroline at her door, or at the window. We get a shot of Caroline getting possessed by the demon, by the spirit of Sheba, like puking blood into her mouth, and definitely
so gross.
It's definitely a vulgar scene, definitely.
Dude, that was so fucking nasty. It was so out of nowhere too. Fucking puked in her mouth.
I must say, the practical mask or like makeup on Sheba is definitely fucking
really good.
Terrifying.
Well, dude, this is the director of Saw, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm expecting some good practical effects and practical everything.
I'm sorry to mention, but prior to the scene, Roger says, "I'm going to take the girls for some ice cream," so they head out. So then we cut back to Roger bringing the girls home. And he notices Ed working on his car, and explains, Lorraine, how she's this clairvoyant. She has memories and notes that every time she, tries to help people, a piece is taken from her each time, as she tries to help people. So it's definitely not an easy task for her.
And he talks about the guy from before in the lecture took a big chunk from her in that.
Yeah.
And like she wasn't the same after that.
That was the one where the cross was moving on him.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Frenchman.
What's the cop's name, Josh?
Brad Huntington.
Brad. Okay, so Brad is skeptical, right? He's just a cop. He's just there to
be a cop.
He's just there. He doesn't believe in anything. But this is when we get the scene where the next night, Brad, the officer, notices and hears something outside the patio. Sees the rocking chair going back and forth, and he notices in the kitchen a maid with blood on her forearm. He goes to more investigating, and we get a jump scare of the maid saying, "She made me do it."
Yeah, it looked like she slit her wrist.
Oh, you forgot to say that in the research part, they found out that there had been a ridiculous amount of murders and suicides on the property.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Previous owners have died.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jack. I couldn't get everything.
No. But that brings in the whole Rory thing, the little kid that's like kind of connected to April.
Mm-hmm. Where am I? All right. So, as the paranormal team at night, this is the same night, they notice Cindy sleepwalking again. That as someone, I think Ed states that no one should touch her because he notes that someone is with her. So this is the Maury character, the Maury apparition. Cameras keep flashing, and she goes into the bedroom, and she's locked inside the bedroom. They break down the door. Obviously, the door's locked. They want to see if nothing's happening to her. Ed asks for the UV light. We get a short scene of the photographer guy showing one of the older daughters how the UV light works. So he asks for the UV light to track down Sydney. He's putting on the ground, looking at the footsteps, following the trail. It leads to that same dresser, and April, she ends up being behind. I'm not sorry, Cindy. She ends up being right behind the dresser, behind the wall that's enclosed around the foundation. Don't know how she got in there.
Yeah, who knows, dude?
I guess logic. I don't know.
Well, it has her hands, like the UV light shows her hands like kind of moving around the left side of it, which like it slides to open kind of, and the UV light kind of showed that.
I guess if you're trying, I guess, Jack. Lorraine asks to see her music box again, the Jack in the Box, goes inside the dresser, into the actual foundation of the house. So she's between the floorboards and the walls. She pulls out a noose, and then the ground gives way, the planks give way, and she falls through the foundation into the basement, the cellar.
Oh yeah.
She picks up the
She
music
was
box.
pulling on it, right? She was pulling on the noose.
Yeah, well,
Wasn't
she thought
she?
it was just a rope, but then she pulled it. Yeah, she looked at it to be a noose.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's back. She falls down. She dusts herself off. She's looking around this pitch black, empty cellar. She picks up the music box again, and sees it's like a nanny, or no, it's the mom. Not Carolyn, the past mom, like mom explaining that she made me do it. And she sees a clairvoyant vision of the mom killing another daughter, I think, because she sees an apparition of someone in a nightgown hanging themselves.
Yeah. That was creepy. Yeah, that was the maid. Like the mom was the dress as maid, right?
I think the maid was someone. I don't know.
I'm not kidding. The maid had the slit wrist too.
Yeah, but the mom was a little. She was wearing yellow. I think she was a different person. Because there was a weight difference.
Yeah, but
sorry.
Whoa! You calling her fat?
Yeah, she kind of was.
Damn.
That's how I distinguish her.
Fucking.
Okay, Josh. How else would you differentiate them then?
Ah, she was fat.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. So she's freaking out after she sees these apparitions, and she goes upstairs. A chain or her necklace gets latched away as she tries to flee the cellar. She comes up. She explains to everyone else that she understands what she did and that she possessed the mother to kill the children, and notes that Caroline may be possessed, and that's what the bruise marks represent. So that's where Josh gets into the penetration of the Shiva trying to penetrate the soul of the mom.
Words.
Hey Josh, I'm just referring to what you said.
Yeah, I would never speak like that.
The witch is just bad with aim. She was smacking the mom with her dick. Do you want it that way? That's why she has bruises all over her body.
Smacking her fucking hard, dude. Goddamn.
True. The apparitions. This is when things start to ramp up. The apparitions start knocking down the crosses that Ed and the Ring set up. One of the daughters noticed that Nancy's hair is starting to float, and then she gets dragged away by her hair.
I was just laughing at this. I don't know why. I'm like, this is funny. They fucking cut it off.
Again, I don't know who, but yeah, someone cuts it off with scissors.
I think it was Ed.
Ed.
Mr. Ed, dude. Fucking carrying this goddamn exorcism. Conjuring. What's the definition of a conjuring?
I don't know.
Just like possessing? Maybe?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Possessing of a demonic spirit. I don't know.
Fuck. Yeah, we'll go with that, dude.
Well, anyway, shit hits the fan after this, and everyone decides to leave this house. So, Roger and Caroline, they leave with the girls, and they head to like a hotel. And then Ed and Caroline leave. And Lorraine, as before this happens, Lorraine goes to like the local lake or pond or river, and she sees her daughter floating down the river, and she panics, goes to the phone, gets her mom on the line, and she's relieved that her daughter's okay. And she notes it as some kind of warning. So.
Yep.
In the church, we cut back to the church.
Wait. Sorry. You're talking about when he sees her daughter in the river.
Yeah, in the river, and she's like waving.
Oh, yeah.
And she's floating with her like necklace around her neck.
Yeah, that looked really cool. I just thought that looked really cool. Anyway, you keep going.
We cut into the church, and they're speaking with a father or a priest, and they're showing him the captured video evidence of what's happening here. And he notes that, hey, this can only come from the Vatican if we were to do an exorcism. The authority comes from the Vatican.
No, it's because none of the kids are baptized. And their
Well, he
whole
knows that
family
it's difficult because they're not baptized.
Oh, yeah.
But he says the Vatican has to approve an exorcism.
Yeah.
And then, but at the end, the father, I guess, agrees to push through it himself. Like he was going to do it. Like, I don't know.
Welcome back, Ryan Barnes. Been muted this whole time.
I don't think he is.
If you do.
So this is when we cut to that, I guess, for the casual viewer, we cut back to the daughter of Ed and Lorraine. She's getting her leg pulled in her room. And this is when we get the sequence of her, hearing voices, hearing noises, going through the room. The shadow of the room starts to decrease. The lighting starts to fade away. She goes into the artifact room. She goes inside the room. Comes back out. She goes into another room. It locks the door, and she is inside the room. She sees the Shiba entity grooming the Annabelle doll with a hairbrush.
That was so weird, dude.
As Ed and Lorraine return home, apparently the grandma is hard of hearing and couldn't hear the screams at all. But Ed and Lorraine come home. He tries to open the door. He breaches the door just in time before its spirit throws the chair, and the chair breaks away.
Oh my
So
god, then the chair fucking turns. I'm like,
Yeah.
What the hell? Fucking weird, dude. It was cool. I was still confused by the scene where they were. And then,
But I do agree with you, Josh. It's hard to. It took you a second to realize that it was the other daughter.
I figured it out because I was like, are they staying at Ed and Lorraine's house? Because of that's where the doll's supposed to be and shit. So
It wasn't clear.
Yeah, it wasn't very clear. Anyway.
Cut to Roger returning back to the motel, and his daughters are in a panic, and they're explaining to him that Caroline, the mother, has abducted Christine in April, and they got in the car and they just left. Obviously, we know that Caroline is possessed because of the scene that we saw earlier. As Ed and Lorraine arrive at the house along with Matt, the cop. Matt, right?
Brad. Don't disrespect Brad like that,
Brad.
dude.
They arrive. They hear screaming coming in from the cellar in the basement, and we see Caroline trying to stab one of her daughters with kitchen shears.
Oh yeah, dude, that was fucking. I was so confused how she didn't kill him yet.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she would have already been that daughter.
I don't know if anyone else noticed, but I thought as Ed and Lorraine arrived, they went down the cellar, but there were already people down with the cellar with her, like the photographer, the other dude, the black dude, was down there. Did anyone else see that?
It was weird.
I expected it was just going to be the daughter and the mom, the daughters and the mom, but no, it was they went down there and there was a whole group of people
trying party,
to get
bro.
the mom off. Yeah. Anyway, they try to take the mom away, Caroline away, try to leave the house, but more blemishes appear as they're exiting the house. And,
it's so gross.
Yeah, it definitely. The visuals there definitely help with the scene, but Lorraine notes that the witch won't let her leave, or she's gonna get killed. So they kind of let her go, and this is when Lorraine just gets thrown back downstairs into the cellar. The group follow her down as she chokes out, and she gets on top of Ed, and she chokes him out. This is when Brad, the police officer, tries to take her off, and he gets bitten in the face.
I know, what Brad, bro? Bunch of assholes.
Fuck Brad.
You don't say that about Brad?
I just said fuck Brad, yeah.
Dude, Brad was best character, dude. His story arc from start to finish, fantastically written. No more
They
Brad
put her.
disrespect.
They put a sheet over her head.
Yeah,
cover
yeah.
her, and they cover her and they lock her. They handcuff her to a chair. And they explain that Ed, even though he's not a priest, he can probably perform the exorcism, even though he's not. So he's just taking a wing at it, hoping it works. So I guess there's just no time to spare. Might as well just do it now. So one of the daughters is secure because they restrained her in that scene, Christine. But we don't know where the other daughter is. So the guy,
Yeah.
April, we don't know where April is. Do you know the guy's character's name who was looking for her?
No, I don't. Darian?
Drew.
He-
It's Drew.
Drew?
Drew? It was I was close. It was a D.
Well, he's in the kitchen. He hears like the whimpers of April, and he notes that she's down below the floorboards of the kitchen.
Damn sure she is.
This is when we get a shot of Christina in the back of the police car or the car, and this is when birds are flying all over the house, hitting the cars, hitting the. We
Wait,
get a
I
cool
thought this
shot
was Sydney.
No, it's Christine.
Wait, was that not Murph?
No, Christine. This is the character that looked under her bed.
Yeah,
That's Christine.
yeah.
Cindy's the one that smacks her head in the Narnia closet.
Yeah, fucking Sydney, dude. Murph.
This is when birds are flying over the house, and we get a cool shot of like a fly along with the bird that hits the window and goes into the cellar basement. So
I
that
did
was a
like
cool
the
shot.
shot. I did like that very much. Very nice, yes.
This is when the exorcism continues to happen. It's progressing, but for some reason it just abruptly stops. It becomes silent. And as Caroline, she's puking out blood, as the exorcism was going on, like she's puking out blood through the sheet, so she's like covered in a stained red sheet. But everything stops.
That was cool.
And she's her in her chair. They should start levitating in the air ever so slightly.
Oh my god, I was talking to Jack and I'm like, oh, before it even happened, I'm like, this bitch is about to start flying. And then it happened.
She
I was
fly
really happy.
before or after Lorraine tells her to show herself?
The entity releases the chair and she falls down and knocks, as the furniture also gets knocked down. Caroline, who is now possessed by Sheba, starts laughing at Roger, who's pleading with Sheba to let her go, get out of my wife's body. This is when Sheba speaks and says, "You know your children are already gone, and everyone is going to die."
Oh no, she said she's already gone and
Yeah.
everyone's going.
I'm sorry, Josh. I'm
And then
sorry.
he pulls, and then she pulls the gat out, the shoddy, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then she just fucking completely whiffs, gets some stormtrooper aim. Kind of dives out of the way, but
Before Drew can get to April, Sheba gets April, and they go. They're in the middle of the center of the house in the basement, and they're all the demonologists are following them. The cops trying to follow them. Everyone's trying to surround this Sheba as she's with April, and this is where we get the shot of Ed going, "Sheba, I command you back to hell," or I don't know.
yeah, it's like get out of her. I don't know. You go back to hell, something like that.
At the same time, Lorraine is touching her head, reminding her of the magical moment that they had on the beach. There was a short scene where Caroline and Lorraine were talking about this beach picture.
Yeah, she like had visions of it. It was weird.
As Caroline fights back, and she's fighting back, she's trying to get Sheba out of her. She pukes up blood, and she pretty much gets her out. She is relinquished from her body and her soul.
Yes, sir.
As the morning comes up, the family celebrates. The youngest daughter, April, gives back the necklace that was stolen to Ed and Lorraine. Then we get a cut back to Ed and Lorraine's house, where he's placing the Jack-in-the-Box item in his demonology collection. We get
Again,
some
that
text.
just seems stupid.
we get some text explaining about a little bit back more about Ed and Lorraine, their quotes, and we get a final shot of the Jack in the Box spinning around as we cut to black and roll credits.
And by the credits are super creepy
Yeah, were.
because they're showing like photos of the actual family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, those
Well,
are
these are
fucking
Ed and Lorraine are real people.
Yeah, I know. I looked that up. Which, you know, their stories are total bullshit, but makes it a movie.
Ryan, you haven't said anything in a while. Let's start with you. What did you think of this movie?
I don't think Ryan's mic's working.
No.
Michael hasn't said anything for fucking hours either.
Hours?
Yeah, you guys
I
are
was-
quiet
dude.
as shit.
Yeah, I was letting Tanner explain the movie.
Yeah. Well, dude, you gotta put your opinion right.
My opinion,
We'll start with
All
you.
in
What's your
all.
opinion and rating of the movie?
all in all, it was a very good movie. I like it a lot as kind of like the fucking one that starts the whole series up, you know?
Ryan's like a 7-year-old giving a presentation to his
Ba-
elementary school class.
Based
It's kid
on a
that
true
didn't do
story.
any part of it, but still wants to get credit.
What? What?
I
was
like
letting you
this movie a
explain it.
lot.
It is a very good movie. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Thank you. No. Based on a true story, which is crazy. I've never
Fucking
looked up a true story.
bullshit.
No, it's based on a true story, dude.
It's
Yeah.
based on bullshit.
Lorraine's got some weird psychic
dude.
powers. And then Ed is a quote unquote demonologist. He studies like demons and afterlife. All that's like it's real. I mean, they are real people. They're
they're real people.
real
They're
people.
fucking. They're crackheads, but they're
Yeah.
real people.
But I mean, yeah, they're real people, and it's based on like what they've experienced. But yeah, I like how it's kind of sets everything up. That the nod to Annabelle in the beginning was great. I didn't really like how you could just Simba the demon out of the wife. You know how she's like, be gone, and she just like
Simba it out of them, bro.
stretches her hand out, be gone, and she's like, oh my god, she's
Be
touching
gone,
me, I
thought.
gotta go. Yeah, that was never again touched upon in any of the other movies, which I appreciated. But hey, maybe that's how it happened, man. It is based on a true story. These people are real. This is 100% accurate, and there's no falsifying any information.
Bro, that's like if George R. R. Martin wrote Game of Thrones in 1970s and said this actually happened. This is based on a true story. I just added dragons and fucking magic and demons.
So Ryan, what are you gonna get? Or I'm sorry, Michael, what are you gonna get? You said 10 out of 10, huh?
No, no, definitely not. Definitely not a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it enough that I definitely would rate it. I don't know, maybe like a 7.5. I'd say it's
Alright.
definitely something that you'll get your money's worth if you decide to pay for it, which you don't have to. It is on Hulu.
I love Hulu.
If it's worth paying for, then how are you giving it a 7.5?
Well,
On Tanner's grading
I'm-
scale, that's a
I mean-
C.
yeah, I mean it's not good, but it's not bad. It's a good introduction into the Conjuring universe.
It's an
If we're
average horror
talking
movie.
about like which ones have come out before other ones, then yeah, it's a good intro.
I believe like the only other movies that were related to this were like the Insidious series. Other than
No,
that,
it's not.
well, no, but those
We
No,
looked it up.
like-
Insidious is like the same type of movie.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Like,
I
other-
thought you meant
I think-
certain universe.
No, it's not the same universe, but I think the only movies that were like this prior to the Conjuring was the Insidious movies. I think Insidious was the actual startup.
Yeah.
And,
I
and
mean,
Paranormal
same
Activity.
actor,
Don't get-
Paranormal Activity,
the
yeah.
series also contributed
Fuck,
to it a
that's
little
such a
bit.
stupid movie. But
you don't like Mr. I hate horror movies, but you've seen Paranormal Activity?
no, it wasn't even scary. It was stupid. It was like, bro,
Dude,
so,
I hate Paranormal Activity. I hate ghosts. This whole you can't see it, but you know it's there. Like, that's creepy as hell.
That shit was stupid, bro. Like, they moved
7.5,
the sheets.
Mr. Michael Barnes. You
Yes. I don't think
Barnes?
he's there.
Oh my god, he said I keep texting him. Can you like I keep texting him, he's like, oh I'm just letting Ryan talk.
there? Barnes.
I'm,
Oh,
it's-
oh. He
Wow.
obviously hears us, but we can't hear him.
Yeah. Well we can skip. Do you want me to go or you want to go, Tanner?
You can go, Josh.
Alright, well coming into this movie, I have to say I'm not a big horror movie fan, so I wasn't really expecting a lot. I was more expecting to kind of like not really pay attention to the movie too much, so I don't get too scared. And that's kind of how I went into it. But toward like the end of the movie, I fully paid attention to it because it was like, all right, now I'm actually kind of interested in the.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, we actually can hear you. Oh my god.
Were you talking
he's
throughout
there.
the whole time I was going through it? We just couldn't hear you?
No. I was letting Ryan talk, and then I was about to say something, and I was like, I was like, why?
No,
can't
we
you
meant
hear me?
the entire time we were talking though. Like
Like what?
Oh no, I can hear you. I can hear you. I don't know why you can't hear me.
that was weird.
I-
Anyway, oh well, yeah. Anyway, I was going through. Sorry, Ryan. I'm getting mine. You can go.
I'm sorry. I have something to say. I'm so sorry.
What do you have to say?
Nothing. I was just. Were you looking for my opinion?
I was giving mine real fast.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Anyway, no, I went in again like not expecting to really pay too much attention, so because I didn't want to get too scared. But toward the end, I was like, all right, I'm really into this. I'm kind of into the who Ed and Lorraine are. I'm into the story. I like all their backstories, like how even like the videotape of the first exorcism that they did, and I just thought it was really well built. There's some pacing issues for me. I feel like it didn't really find its. Again, it's a horror movie, so I get that it didn't really find its purpose until the end. Until like Ed and Lorraine came in for them. I didn't really. I was kind of confused. I thought there were two separate timelines at first. I don't know why. But yeah, I thought it had some like pacing issues, some storytelling issues. But I thought it was really well made. It was pretty practical. You could tell most of the effects were practical. The makeup, probably the flying was. I think the flying was done just by wires too. I feel like that most of that was practical as well, especially when they were grabbing her. Yeah, I just thought it was a pretty well made movie. I'd give it about. I was gonna give it probably a 7.5 as well.
So, how were you? Did you get scared at all? What was your set and setting?
Oh, I started at 3 p.m. 3 p.m.
Did you watch it in increments?
No, I sat down and watched the whole thing.
While playing a video game.
Well, the first half I did because I was
What
like,
video
I'm not
game?
gonna get scared.
Full aren't.
No, I was playing
Minecraft.
Minecraft, bro.
Wait, you watched it daytime?
Well, hell yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna watch this at night.
that's part of the fun, dude. That's the
No, it's
immersive
not fun.
experience.
Do you have
But,
blackout curtains, Josh?
No.
Ah.
But yeah, that's why I watched it. I paid a lot of attention to it at the end because I was getting into it. It's not like I wasn't watching it. I was watching it because I couldn't look away because I'm like, all right, I want to know what happened. Shit.
He
The
was
dress
saying
scene
that
did get
while he
you,
was
right?
watching.
The dresser scene got you can ask Jack.
Oh yeah, that was
That
the
shit
funniest
got-
thing listening
that
to. Because I
That
think
shit got me.
I was like done with the movie at that point, and I
You
was in
were.
Discord with Josh, and Josh it was the part where he was like, what is she staring at? Oh, okay. It was
Yeah,
the
'cause you're looking up,
funniest
I'm like,
thing.
what the fuck is she doing? I said, oh fuck! Why is he up there? It scared me, bro. Yeah, there's definitely scenes that scared me. Especially the dresser scene. Oh fuck! Like most of the jump scare scenes got me. Let's just say that most of them got me because I didn't, I don't expect them. Even though when I do expect them, they don't happen. It just creeps me out. But yeah, no, I like the movie. I get 7.5.
All right, Barnes. What's your take?
So Josh,
What?
you kept saying you did not like horror movies.
I don't.
What did you think of this as a horror movie? It is the acting is good.
Yes, I'll give it that. The acting was good.
Mostly. I mean, for the most part, it was.
No,
really
I
good
thought it was. Well, I love the guy who plays Ed, Patrick Wilson. He
I love that guy, dude. I
yeah,
was gonna
he's
mention him earlier, but
yeah, he's from
was-
he was in the A Team. He was in
He's in
fucking,
Insidious. He's the bad.
well, Insidious.
he
Yeah.
is an Insidious, dude.
Oh my god, Watchmen. He was in the Watchmen movie. Plays
I have
Night
not
Owl.
seen that movie.
It's a really good. I should put that on the list. That's a good
Do it,
movie.
Josh.
I like that movie. But no, I like Patrick Wilson. I like the person. I like Murph. She was good at Interstellar. Sydney.
Murph.
but her name-
Who
it's
was Murph?
Sydney. Well,
Sydney.
she's one of the little
The
girls.
Narnia wardrobe smacking head.
Yeah,
girl.
the bitch just smacks her head a lot. That's Sydney, and she plays Murph in Interstellar.
The sleepwalking.
No, I thought it was a really well acted movie, and I thought it had a story. Again, the pacing was different, like definitely not complete because it's a horror movie and they want to scare you.
Yeah.
So I felt like you could definitely tell the pacing
So were you
issues.
scared? Did you get scared?
Yeah, I got scared a bit. I'm fine now. It's just like it didn't scare me that much. It's like I'm not gonna be thinking about it. Oh, actually, that's not true. My fucking cat opened my door right before we started and scared the shit out of me. I'll give you that.
I think that would scare the shit out of you even if you didn't watch the movie.
Yeah, no, but I'm used to them opening the door, and then
Oh.
like, but it was like today, and I'm like, oh fuck. Now he's just laying in my bed and like knowing what he did. Being
That
an
is so
ass.
funny.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, I thought.
Anyway.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was too scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
too scary.
I don't think it was too scary.
It's funny. I found myself laughing at some parts. Like
Okay, I was cracking up when she was getting drugged across the ground on her hair.
when she got
that
slammed into the glass. Oh man,
Yeah,
dude.
some of those parts I was laughing. I was like, alright, this is funny. And he cuts off her hair, and I'm like, you bald bitch. That was funny. I don't know. I thought that was great.
When the cop
Brad. Say
was
his
a
name.
maid. What did she say when she runs up to him? I don't remember what she said.
She made
but
me
I-
do it.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is.
I
She
did
ran
not
up to
get
him.
scared. I did
thought
not
that
get
was
scared.
funny. No.
Yeah, I
thought
didn't
it
get
was a
scared
little
about that.
surprising. I was like, ooh. So,
Like, what? Ooh.
I mean, it's like, oh man, you know. Anyways, that was a good scene, but it was kind of funny because she was weird looking.
Wow, it's trying being weird looking.
No, Josh, she was dead. She was a corpse.
You're
It
not
was
wrong.
creepy. It was a little creepy, but it wasn't that bad. They didn't do that much makeup on her, I guess.
No. They
No.
made her look white. Like, I don't know, like she went through a volcano.
And then I love the exorcisms.
Oh, he's muted
Yep.
again.
He's
Oh.
muted.
Oh, he made it again. Alright, I'll tell you what he's gonna say.
Josh,
he
Josh,
loves
Josh,
it.
Josh.
He like. Oh,
Okay, what I was about to say. I really like the exorcism scene.
mm-hmm.
Patrick Wilson, Josh. I love that guy, dude.
Dude, he's a handsome motherfucker, dude.
He is. I'm so glad.
I was
you said
telling,
that.
I was saying
But-
Jack the
so
whole
I can say
time.
this.
I was like, bro, I'm like, dude, that little handsome guy. Every time he popped up, I like Patrick Wilson. Dude, he's a good actor. I just like what he does.
Okay, so I love the exorcism part because Patrick Wilson is such a man screaming as a man. Do you know what I mean by that?
No, dude,
He's
he's
like,
showing his
"God damn."
testosterone, bro.
And when hold on. When the bookshelf, the shelf fell, and he had to dodge roll out of the way.
He's fucking badass, dude.
But it was kind of cheesy.
Oh
was
yeah,
like-
it was.
But I was like, God damn, that is some man cheesy right there, bro. That was badass cheesy.
That was some man cheese, bro.
So yeah, that's so fucking hilarious. And then I don't know. it was a really good movie. So I'll give my number. I give it. Yeah, for a horror movie, it's like 9 out of 10. It's one of the only horror movies I like.
Okay, for a horror movie, you gotta give it as a movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really good movie. It sticks out. What did you give it, Josh?
Yeah, 7.5.
So did Camarada.
Yeah.
I thought Michael would give it way higher from what he was fucking saying
Well,
coming into
That's
this.
such a good horror
Yeah,
movie.
I mean,
don't know.
it's a good setup, but there are definitely better movies in the franchise.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
No.
it's still not good.
I disagree. What do
I
you mean?
disagree.
Yeah,
What do you think is?
But
What do you think is better?
in the universe, which
Yeah.
which ones are
In
better?
the universe? Yeah.
In the universe, I think The Nun was it's overhyped. I think Annabelle Creation was really good. I like the second.
Does the beginning of that movie, is that when the little girl runs into the street?
Yeah. Yeah, she read. Yeah.
Are you laughing?
That was
She's
a pretty
alone.
fucked up movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
It
gonna lie to
was,
you.
but it was hilarious.
Our desensitized crew here, laughing at girls getting run over in the street, laughing at girls getting their hair cut while she's getting yanked across the living room.
That shit was so funny, dude. Kidding me? Oh
Um,
my god. It looks so funny.
I enjoy the first act of this movie than the other acts, particularly because I like the setup.
Oh
particularly for
yeah,
this.
that's fair. It was good
Like
stuff.
the actual the first part, infestation part, where they're just hearing noises. I especially love the sequence where the mom and the girl are playing hide and clap, and you see like just a outright arm just clap. That's my favorite scene. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
that shit is creepy, man.
It's definitely creepy. I agree with you, Josh. I was taking notes, trying because I need to explain all the parts. Even while I was taking notes, the pacing is definitely very rapid. Like I'm just going, geez, okay, scene, next scene, cut, next scene. Okay, it just keeps going at the standard pace. It never really takes a breather. Like we all said, the girls, they're hard to keep track of. Like trying to figure out, okay, who's that one? Well, what does she do again? Oh yeah, she's the one that bumps her head. Okay, what's this one? She's the older sister. Okay. I understand the premise. Where the money is. The cool sequences of the paranormal events, but just the characters overall. I thought the weakest character was Roger.
Yeah, he doesn't really do much.
He didn't
bro.
bring much to this movie, really. Like the girl, like the children brought more than he did.
He was
I guess
kind of like
he-
Finn in the Rise of Skywalker. He just yells his wife's name the whole time.
He only got really one scene by
Or
himself
stutters.
early on in the movie. So he didn't really add much to it. The music was great. The practical effect, the costume, the mask, the makeup, all that was great. Yeah, I think Ed and Lorraine. I started caring about it more when Ed and Lorraine showed up, but I just really enjoyed first act of the movie, like the first 30 minutes. This is I agree with you, Michael and Ryan. This is a movie where if you have a friend that maybe not watch horror, this is a movie you would definitely be on the top tier list when you want to introduce them to horror. Nothing other than that. Yeah, it's my favorite out of supernatural movies, like the Insidious, the Conjuring, the Annabelle's, all
Paranormal Activities.
the Paranormal Activities. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite. With that being said, it's an 8. It's a B minus. It's an 8 out of 10.
What did Ryan end up giving it?
Fucking 9.
A 9?
I gave it a 9.
That's so.
I gave it a 9.
I'm still surprised that Michael gave it such a 7.5.
It's a good startup movie, but there are definitely better ones, and there are definitely
agree,
worse
Ryan.
ones.
Rating
Okay.
it as a movie, it is definitely not a 9. This movie is not better than Blow or Reservoir Dogs or. like, yeah, I don't know. Not better than those,
All right.
my opinion.
All right, Jack, go. It's already long enough. Go ahead.
I had some favorite parts of this movie. I liked how the like kind of entity learned from the family, like the whole hide and clap thing. How it that like used that to like try and get into the mom's head a little bit more. And then another thing was April was kind of less like, other than at the end when the mom tries to kill her, she was like throughout the movie she's less attacked by the witch, and I think that it gives a good connection to her being kind of connected to the little boy Rory that she sees in the Jack in the Box. And then I really like the way the movie brings Ed and Lorraine with the family. Is that it's not just some like random where they like bump into each other and they find out. It's like Caroline, I think that's what her name is. The mom just is actually going to the lecture because it's about things that are happening in her life and she wants to like know more. And then she talks to him after the lecture. And it wasn't just, as I said, like a stupid random introduction. And then one of the final things was just like the jump scares weren't ridiculous. Like they weren't constant and all the time. And there were like points where you think there might be a jump scare and there's not one, which I think is actually better for horror movies to have, because this one didn't really have that many. It had like 4 or 5, I think, that I really can remember. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good horror movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I still think it's pretty high up there. I think I'd give it like an 8.2 out of 10. What?
Nothing.
Mr. I don't like horror movies.
That's a good rating.
Final tally divided by 5. This is an 8.0.
Damn.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, that 9 definitely elevated it. I think we all.
What is it?
Yeah, we had a 7.5, a 7.5, an 8, an 8, and a 9. So yeah, an 8 makes sense.
It's an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Solid 8, not 8.1, not 8.0. It's an 8.0. Yeah.
Josh, you can accept that. Come on.
Dude, I am. All right.
It apparently did better than Halloween, but
I mean, yeah, it's better than Halloween.
What was Halloween? Oh, we'll go over.
Didn't
fuck,
Josh give Halloween like a 7?
yeah.
So Josh gave The Conjuring half a score more than Halloween.
No, I give Halloween like 7.9.
So you gave Halloween a higher score than this, Josh.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a classic. That's
Okay.
the only
Man, you
reason.
gave that movie a 6.5. I was like, that's kind of harsh.
No, it deserves it.
Then why'd you give it a 7.9?
Because I have
I don't
respect.
remember. It was a little
No, Ryan changed his.
Dated.
Ryan
cheesy
changed
when
his.
I fully watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
That's one thing
definitely
about
cheesy.
Halloween. It
I
is
guess
dated.
I watched it fully. I just remember seeing The Mask when I was younger. But I remember, and like seeing maybe a scene of it when I was younger, but I never actually watched the movie.
I just played a lot of Dead by Daylight. Which I made the
Until
D-Strike
like a
joke
couple years
last
ago.
episode.
It was like 4 years ago.
Oh no!
Oh no!
God damn it. How'd that even break it?
Was that on your side, Josh?
Yeah, that was me.
What happened? What broke?
A glass.
Well, yeah, but
A glass of what?
No,
Alcohol?
nothing was in it.
What did
No,
you
it's
break
just
What
on?
was in it, Josh?
Probably lemonade or Gatorade. One of the two. Oh, I gotta clean that up. Anyway, boys. So The Conjuring. Oh, fucking 8. Can I change my score?
No, Josh.
All right. At number 1, we got Blow at an 8.4. At number 2, we got Reservoir Dogs at 0.2. At number 3, we have Ip Man at 8. And tied with number 3, we have The Conjuring at 8.
Oh.
Coming in at 4, we have Batman Begins with a 7.9. Oh, fuck, what was Halloween?
What?
Halloween.
I forgot to save
7.6.
it. It was 7.6.
7.6.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Then we got Halloween coming out at 7.6. I forgot to... Probably put this in Google Docs. It'll be easier. Then we got Twister at 5.1, and coming in at last, and shouldn't be staying there long, we have The Room at 2.6.
2.6.
2.6.
Hey, it deserves more, bro. All right, boys. Picking next week's movie. I'm so prepared all the time. All right, and this is where we'll be picking from. Get rid of The Conjuring. Bum bum. By the way, is Midsommar a horror movie?
Midsummer?
I don't.
Wait a minute, that's the new one, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can I vote in this too? Can I put that down again?
No, you can't wait twice.
Oh my god. Has anyone seen it so far?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a horror drama.
Oh my god, you guys are in for a treat. Oh,
I don't think it's scary. I think it's more of a cult. Yeah, see, it says pagan cult. I think
oh
it's a
my
cult
god.
movie.
It is
Which one?
It is
What
the
is this?
wackiest thing you will ever see in your life.
What is?
Look at that baby
Midsommar.
kiss.
Midsummer.
What is? I've seen that
Anyway,
around.
let's. Yeah,
Is that the
we'll
next
just
movie?
pick. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I'm picking.
Oh,
We saw the
who
movie.
picks that movie?
Midsummer.
The
Midsummer.
Departed.
Hey,
The
The Departed.
Departed.
This is
Oh.
a good movie.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm excited to watch that movie.
It's a really good movie. Yeah, so we're gonna be watching. We are going to be reviewing The Departed on Thursday. Right? Am I right? Yeah, Thursday. So on Thursday, join us for The Departed. This has been a Movie Mates podcast with Conjuring. Anyone have any last things to say?
I'm making
Nope.
you watch
Other
Woman in
than
Black.
everything in this, everything in this movie has been 100% true.
Shut
Is lied or falsified information at all, based on real life.
Ryan,
Stop,
do you
dude.
believe it?
Yeah, dude. This stuff happened to my neighbor a few nights ago, dog. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude, he walked into my house all naked, looked possessed.
No way.
I had to
Actually,
sit by
Ryan.
his ass with my cock.
No way. This happened
Only
to
way
you.
I could get it out
Ryan,
of him
did
if
you
I
say this
fucked him.
happening to your neighbors?
No, dude. Ghosts aren't real, dude. It's
Ryan,
Oh.
yeah.
This is really, it's really easy. You're really
Yeah,
going
cool,
on.
Ryan.
Oh my god, Josh, end it.
All right, boys. Anyway, yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and as always, have a great week. Peace.
See it.